Okay, we're going to do an unboxing of the Sainsmart Ender 3 Pro. I've never played around with one of these, so we'll see how it goes. Looks like it's pretty well packaged. What we have here. There's the user manual. Looks like that's the screen. Have to plug. There's some extra tips and extra parts here. Roll of filament. All sorts of extras here. Bolts, nuts, clips. There's the power supply. Some more parts. It's a scraper. It's packaged very well, that's for sure. Looks like one of the uprights. Couple more. Looks like the threaded rod covered. There's the base plate. Looks like that's all intact. Looks like the spool holder. Looks like the rest of the spool holder. There's a motor for the Z. Put the box out of the way and we'll see what we have here. Just get things opened up. Here's the screen. I'm going to pause the video for a minute and we will open everything up and I will come back in a minute. Got everything opened up. It's nice they have all these packages labeled as to what they are with all your bolts, your parts. They're all labeled, pretty easy. They also give you a bunch of tools that you need for assembly. So that should be everything that we need. So we're going to start at step 1. We're going to attach the left and the right side upper. And I am going to go ahead and pause the video. You don't want to see me doing this, but I will, at each step, I will show you what I did, and I will give you any tips or tricks that I found. Looks pretty straightforward. Looks like it's a pretty good manual. Step 1 and step 2. So we will do the first 2 steps, and I'll get back with you in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. I installed the first 2 steps. It's the 2 uprights, mounting the power control, and also mounting the screen. They're pretty straightforward. The only thing that I would take note of is the 2 uprights are different. They have a different hole pattern. It points it out pretty good in the directions. This one has 2 holes here. This one has 2 holes down here. They need to be in that location. So make sure you put the 2 uprights in the right spot. We'll go on to step 3 and 4, and we'll see. I mean, it's so nice that they have everything packaged and labeled, so you don't have to dig around and figure out which bolt you need to use. They're all labeled, very detailed instructions, and I will attach 3 and 4, and I will get back with you. Steps 3 and 4 were pretty easy. We just installed the Z switch, the Z motor, and the threaded rod. These, I left these loose because this we will adjust when we level our bed. And then I left the protective coating on the rod. So far, pretty easy. Nothing too dramatic. And we'll go on to steps 4 and 5. I'm sorry, 5 and 6. This step here is a little bit more involved than the last couple. You have 2 crossbar assemblies. You need to make sure you have the one with the right bolt pattern on it. They are different. And this one, but the pictures are pretty self-explanatory. They show you the orientation of how this goes, and your extruder goes on here, your motor goes over here, so pretty easy to put together. It just takes a little bit of time, and just pay attention to the bolt pattern on everything. So we're going to go to step 7, and that we're going to attach the belt onto here, and I will do that and get right back with you. Okay, step 7 and 8 was install the belt. You just run the belt underneath these 2 rollers down the channel, around the gear, around the underside, and it fits into a clip here. Goes around the other way. You install this tensioner. You can tension that up later once you get it completely installed to make sure you have the right tension. And then it comes back around and it goes into this clip here. So pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. It shows you in the instruction books. Pretty easy to follow so far. So now we're going to go to steps 9 and 10. And we will see where this takes us. Doesn't look like it's too hard, but we will check it out. And I will let you know if there's anything that you need to know special with these steps. One thing I do want to note, in step 9, it tells you to make sure you don't tighten these two screws too much. You're going to thread this rod through this bushing here, and you might want to loosen these up. These were very tight when I went to assemble it, so I loosened them up and it made it easier to install the rod, and then everything went down pretty good after that. So in this step we attached the extruder from the last step, slid it down the rails and into the threaded rod, and then installed the top brace. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. We'll go on to step 11, see what that has in store for us. Okay, I just got done with step 11. All that is putting on the spool holder. There's these two nuts. This nut goes on the back. The only thing I found in the instruction is it tells you that there are two nuts. One goes on the front, one goes on the back. I don't know if this is an upgrade or a change since they've done this manual. This actually has a ring around this edge, so there's not a nut that goes on this. You put the nut on the other side, very easy to put together. And I stopped after this step because the next step we're going to plug in all the motors. Now everything is labeled to which motor they go to. There's your power supply. Everything's labeled pretty good, and this diagram right here shows you where everything goes. So I am going to put this together and we'll see what we have. Alright, so that was pretty easy. Just match them up to where it says they go. They all fit pretty good. Pretty easy to do. One last thing you want to make sure is that you flip this switch here to the proper voltage. 115 or 220, depending on where you live. And that's it. It's installed. Now we just gotta level it. That'll be another video. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped out.